Get ready, Atlanta. The black and gold are taking over. If y'all haven't already heard, it's Saints at Falcons. Round one of the rivalry showdown that always brings plenty of drama, intense play, and a little spirited banter. This edition's marked by two veteran quarterbacks, Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins, both leading new-look offenses with plenty of weapons. With a defense that's always ready to pounce, the Saints are determined to take the throne in this long-time battle and keep those Falcons grounded. Let the takeover begin. Welcome into Saints Game Day Live on NewOrleansSaints.com. I'm Erin Summers. This rivalry matchup kicks off at noon, Saints at Falcons in Atlanta. You can watch it on Fox if you aren't there in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We have somebody that is there, however. Our Saints senior writer, John DeShazer, is on hand. We're going to send it right to JD and see what's going on with this new look Falcons. JD?
Morning, Erin, from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. I am John DeShazer, of course, and I refuse to believe that the Falcons won't have a little bit of revenge on their mind, because the last time they saw the Saints, all they were watching were taillights. 48-17 Saints victory in the season finale of 2023. But the Falcons are new in a lot of places, and with new people come new expectations. So offensively, the Falcons have a new quarterback, Kirk Cousins. He's had a lot of success against the Saints. The 13-year vet only has 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions this season, and he's been sacked 5 times. He's coming off a ruptured Achilles from last year after 8 games, but he has an array of weapons in Atlanta, including running back Bijan Robinson, receiver Drake London, and tight end Kyle Pitts. But Atlanta has only averaged 16 points a game in the first 3 games and will be missing 2 starting offensive linemen. That's center Drew Dahlman and right tackle Caleb McGarry. So the Saints probably believe they can attack those spots with defensive tackle Brian Brzee. He's got 3 sacks. And also defensive ends Cam Jordan, Chase Young, and Carl Granderson, who also has 3 sacks. But don't let Bijan Robinson's modest numbers fool you. He's only got 196 rushing yards and 89 yards receiving. Atlanta's offense is predicated on production in the run game, and he is their guy. Now defensively, Atlanta's only given up 20 points and 327 yards a game, but 150 of those yards comes against the run. So the strong suit has been a secondary that allows only 176 yards a game and is led by outstanding safeties. That's Jesse Bates III. He had a pick 6 against the Saints last year in Atlanta, and also Justin Simmons, whom the Saints courted as an unrestricted free agent. And they've got a cornerback, A.J. Terrell Jr., that they don't mind putting in man coverage. The Falcons haven't generated much pressure, though, with only 3 sacks this season. That's second fewest in the 32-team league. So it'll be interesting to see if the Falcons turn to that 6-1 defense that was so successful by Philadelphia. 6-1 defense, that's 3 defensive linemen, 2 rush ends, and also a linebacker who plays edge. That's 6 guys, and they were able to stop the run against the Saints last week and really pressure the passer. And oh, by the way, Philly held the Saints to 89 rushing yards on 29 attempts. Here's the thing. Atlanta's first-year coach, Raheem Morris, who was a Rams defensive coordinator for the previous 3 seasons, has been known to use this defense if he has the personnel. Does he have the personnel with the Falcons? We shall see, because it's a copycat league. On special teams, look, remember that the Falcons have a great weapon in kicker Younghoe Koo. He's made 90% of his field goal attempts in 5 years as a Falcon, including 5 of 5 this year. If you're New Orleans, you do not want the game to come down to Koo's foot, because he has been extremely accurate, especially against the Saints. Well, that's here from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Erin, back to you.
Thank you, JD. Hopefully you can stay safe over there in enemy territory. Through the first 2 weeks, the Saints offense put up 91 points. In week 3, they hit a pothole, only 12 points. To get back to that high-octane offense, it all starts with the Saints' ability on the offensive line, overcoming injuries and helping establish that run game. Center Eric McCoy out, right guard Cesar Ruiz out. Shane Lemieux and Landon Young will be stepping into the line. Starts with left guard Lucas Patrick, however. He's the 7-year vet there. He has to make sure that communication is on point and everyone is working as a cohesive unit on the line. It'll take more than Patrick All 11 players on the field will have to step up in this one and make sure they're executing at a high level. Making that run game go starts on the line, their ability to block. We're looking at tight ends and backs to help chip there for those blocks, open up some holes for Alvin Kamara. Running back Alvin Kamara should have some help in this one, however, as tight end Taysom Hill is back in action. Hill missed last week's game. Him being back on the field will take some of the pressure off of Alvin Kamara and, hey, makes things a little harder for the defense because they don't really know who is going to be coming at them. That run game is very important to alleviate some stress on quarterback Derek Carr. Carr has only been sacked 3 total times, 1 in each game, and he's going up a defensive line that has only 3 total tackles themselves. So you got to keep Carr clean in this one. John Shazer was able to catch up with head coach Dennis Allen, talk about the changes on the offensive line and what their focus has to be there.
Coach, last week we talked about handling adversity. Well, there's going to be a little bit of adversity anyway. No Eric McCoy at center, maybe Cesar Ruiz at guard. Just how's this team handling that so far, being able to practice without those guys this week?
Yeah, look, I think our team's handled it well. Injuries are unfortunate, but a part of the game. And, that's why you have 53 players on your roster. That's why you have a 16-player practice squad. Other guys are going to have to step up and play well in their absence. And so we fully expect that we will.
Philly went to that 6-1 defense, had some success with it. Do you anticipate seeing it from the Falcons?
Well, I think we always have to prepare for it. I mean, it's a copycat league. And when teams do something that gives you problems, there's generally you're generally going to see that at some point somewhere else down the line. Now, whether it's this week, next week, the following week, I don't know those answers, but I think it's something that we have to prepare for.
Atlanta has a new quarterback, Kirk Cousins, pretty much a new offense. Hasn't been very successful so far, only 16 points a game. But what have you seen that has been working for that offense?
Yeah, well, I think they moved the ball. They may not have scored, as many points as they would like, but they've been effective moving the football. They're running the ball extremely well. I think last week they started to open up a little bit more of the play action passing game, so I think we'll see a little bit more of that in the game. And look, they're a talented offense. They've got talented players, and they've got a good scheme. And so, I think the important thing is, we're gonna have to be able to stop the run against this team, eliminate the explosive passes, and then when they get down in the red zone, we'll have to play great red zone defense.
Defensively, not so much of a struggle. They're only giving up 20 a game. What have you seen from that unit?
Yeah, I think they play really hard. I think they're an aggressive, physical team. I think they play really hard. They don't make a lot of mistakes, and they've got some ball hawking players in the back end, and so. Yeah, I think it's a really good defense.
Speaking of ball hawks on the back end, Tyrann Mathieu has forced a turnover in all 3 games. People usually are slowing down at his age. Just what has he been able to do to maintain his level of productivity?
Well, look, he's extremely smart. He knows what to do on every single play. He does a great job of studying the opponent, so he kind of knows how they're going to attack us. And he just has a nose for the football. I mean, some guys really understand how to take the ball away, and he's one of those guys.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Defensively, the Saints have to clean up the chunk plays that gave the Eagles the win in Week 3. Last week, it was running back Saquon Barkley. This week, it all starts with stopping running back Bijan Robinson. Robinson had an average of 127 yards per game against the Saints last season and 3 touchdowns. Stopping Robinson is going to be a little more difficult without linebacker Demario Davis able to go in this one. He is out with a hamstring injury. It falls on linebackers Pete Werner and Willie Gay Jr. to fill those gaps inside and keep Robinson from getting to the secondary. If he is, however, able to break through, then the corners have to be ready on the outsides to help prevent some of those big chunk plays. After that, you got to pressure quarterback Kirk Cousins. He's new there with the Falcons. He is extremely efficient, and he is very good at not forcing things, but working with what the defense is giving him. He is efficient, so you want to speed him up. That means applying that pressure up front on the line, forcing him into opportunities to make mistakes, and it's going to come with interceptions, fumble attempts, and then, of course, sacks on that defensive line. Should be pretty easy for the Saints to get to him because there are a couple injuries on the Falcons' offensive line as well. And once they can apply that pressure up front to Cousins, he has 3 interceptions on the season. All 3 of them have come under pressure. For special teams, in rivalry matchups, these are usually close games, so everything that you can get points-wise matters. Blake Grupe has to be effective in this one, and then any opportunity that you have to force a turnover, which the Saints were able to do last week against the Eagles with a blocked punt by safety JT Gray, will be key. As I said, usually these matchups, rivalry matchups, are close. I know that wasn't the case in the last one, as we had a 31-point victory in New Orleans against Atlanta to end last season. So I think that might play into a little bit of the emotions behind this one, and the Falcons are definitely going to fight. So everything matters, all 3 phases, including special teams. I was able to catch up with safety JT Gray earlier this week to find out what's brewing in the specialist room. Welcome to What's Brewing with safety JT Gray. I'm Erin Summers. This is presented by Community Coffee. JT, one of the most fun plays in football is a turnover, and you had one in this last game. You blocked a punt. What was going through your mind in that moment? Break it down for me.
Just blitzing off the edge, coming in, rush the punter like I'm about to come free. I didn't know I was about to come free, but I knew the guys on the team, everybody did their 111 job, and it helped me be able to get the block punt. So basically, I credit everybody who did their 111 and executed their job to perfection.
What is the feeling, though, when you know you've hit the ball?
It kind of like, I hear it, and I hear the crowd go, oh. So when I blocked the punt, I actually looked up to see like which way the ball went, and I'm running. As I'm running, I see the ball going that way, and I see Jay Howell scooping the ball up and running with it. So it happened so fast that, you know what I'm saying, like when you look up, you don't know where the ball going for a quick second, and then I located the ball and I started to go run and go block for him.
You credited everybody doing their job, but what have you done from an undrafted player to solidify yourself as our special teams ace?
Just living up to the standard of what Phil and Riz want us to go out there and play hard and play fast and physical.
Mm-hmm. Fast and physical, you definitely are. But you started a fund this offseason about mental health awareness. Why was that important to you?
It's important to me because I know that during my time, when I was an undrafted free agent, just going through things and, just need people to lean on. And I want to be able to provide that platform for, people who need that.
You did it for the communities that you've been a part of here in New Orleans, and then Mississippi State area, something that you rep.
Hail State?
Yes.
Hail State.
What did you enjoy about playing there?
Just the guys, everybody from there is almost from Mississippi, just being close to home and having that camaraderie with those guys and being able to build long-lasting relationships that I still have with a lot of guys now.
Okay, we usually talk about bowling when it comes to you, so I got to get an update. Okay. How are we doing? How often are we playing?
Kind of faded away a little bit. Just focusing on the thing that needs to be focused on right now. But I still have my technique down pat. I'll go probably a Monday where I done went down to once a month now. So I'm a little rusty, but I say I'm pretty well, better than most, I guess.
Okay, well, the work on the field is paying off. Thank you so much for chatting with us. This has been What's Brewing with JT Gray.
Thank you.
Always fun to catch up with JT, figure out what's been going on with his bowling game, because he is definitely way better than I would be when it comes to trying to throw a ball down a straight line, down a lane. I'm not very good at it. As far as who is in and out for this one, it is very good news for the Saints. Wide receiver Chris Olave, who suffered a hamstring injury in Friday's practice, is active and able to go. Running back Alvin Kamara also active after dealing with those rib and hip injuries during this week. The Saints offense, 65% of it goes through Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, and Rashid Shaheed. So vital for 2 of those 3 players to be on the field for this one. Also active is wide receiver Cedric Wilson, who was listed as questionable with an ankle injury he suffered earlier in the week. Linebacker Demario Davis out, as we mentioned earlier, but 2 players making their debuts for the Saints this week in defensive tackle Colin Saunders and linebacker DeMarco Jackson. They had been unable to play due to injuries in training camp earlier this year, so they'll be active and available potentially making their season debuts in this one. Should be a fun one, always is, against the Falcons. It takes place 12 o'clock on Fox. You can watch it there, follow along on X at Saints or on our website, NewOrleansSaints.com, and we'll be right back here after the game for our post-game show. I will be alongside Super Bowl champ Scott Shanley. We can break down everything that happened in this game. And we'll hear from head coach Dennis Allen and players as well. For John DeShazer, who is in Atlanta, our producer, Lane Murdoch, who had a birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, Lane. I'm Erin Summers. Thank you so much for joining me on the pregame show. And let's go Saints. Let's get this win.